myself, my team will see that and we'll know to bring you on for a question. Otherwise, there's a participants button at the bottom of the Zoom window. And what that'll allow you to do is like raise your hand digitally. There's like a little raise hand feature in there. That lets me know you have a question. I will certainly see the ones in the chat. If you are one of the ones that is following on Facebook or YouTube or Twitter, you can leave questions there. I will see those and pick those up, bring them into the presentation as well. But okay, so I'm gonna start right in on the chat because I know there were some ones in there. And yes, I'll address costs. Yeah, Amy, we'll talk about markups in a second. Oh yeah, Trevor wanted to talk about code, and then there was one more. Yeah, I answered that one. No, which one was it? Yes, Veru. Okay. Veru, I might as well just start with you. So I'll find you. There you are. Asked to unmute. Veru, I'm going to go ahead and unmute you. So if you want to hit, there you go. So Veru asked, a question about how he gets his artwork ready for reproduction. So you don't even really need to get them scanned anymore. Like the cameras are so good now that you can just shoot them with an SLR camera, and they're perfectly capable for reproduction. We've got a guy who had a career shooting art for Sotheby's for reproduction, and he wrote an article on our blog that talks about how to go about it, even starting with an iPhone all the way up to getting it professionally shot. But that's what most people do, is that they have it professionally shot. You only have to do it once. Once that's done, and it's much easier to have them come to your house, right? Because you obviously, because you have all the pieces there. But April,
do you have like a network, like a referral network of professional art photographers, because I'm in Los Angeles, like.
Oh God, are you kidding me? All you have to do is put a post on Craigslist, and you're going to get 655 responses in LA of photographers that are dying for a job right now. You got that all day long. You got that all day long in LA.
Got it.
All day long.
Got it.
But
okay. That's really helpful.
The articles in the chat though, read that so you kind of like have some context. And okay. I would, no joke, I'm mega pro Craigslist. Okay, you're gonna get me on. You're gonna get me on a rant right now. Okay.
Okay.
Here's how you play Craigslist. Okay.
Uh-huh.
You write the ad, right? You write the ad. You need to make sure that when you post it, you put in some special characters. I like to do like the 3 squiggly lines that'll make it jump out. Anyway, you don't respond until you get like 15 responses. And in the ad, here's what I want you to put: LA artist looking for a photographer that understands lighting and has shot artwork before. Please only respond if you shot artwork before. Then shut up. All the emails come in. You're gonna want to look and respond right away? Absolutely not. Wait till you get about 15 and then sort through them based on the ones that are like, you know what, I've shot art a bunch of times. Here's the work that I've done. Here's the websites it's on. Like, boom, done. Hire that guy, because it's a lighting game more than anything else.
Okay. Since I have you on the line, can I ask one more question?
Absolutely.
For the in-house art agency.
Yes.
One of the things I've been working on is creating videos for my Instagram, like small, like 1-minute videos of just the painting overviews and promoting. Mm-hmm. Do you have video capabilities within that art agency?
We do have, yeah, actually, I don't know if we formally offer it. We absolutely do have video capabilities though. I would say, just knowing like the video landscape as it exists in 2021, what we would probably do is just teach you. There's so many snazzy little apps now that just make the whole process so insanely easy that you'd be like blown away with what you can do. It's like amazing.
Because the other option is like, there's, like you said, if Craigslist works for art photographers, there's also Craigslist for video editors. And in LA, they have like so many people just dying to do editing jobs
all day long. I mean, I'm only an hour south of you in Orange County, which is why I'm speaking with experience to the LA market. But gotcha. Yeah, I mean, all day long. And then, another company too, just to give you a heads up, that not enough people in this world are talking about is Fiverr. Okay, this thing is awesome. I mean, Israeli startup, but these guys are geniuses, and we've used this extensively all the time. Anytime you want to get something done, and it's pretty amazing. It's pretty amazing what you can get on there. So something to contemplate.
I've tried it. I think I got like scammed by 2 Nigerians the 2 times I did it.
So the Nigerians have such a bad rep, don't they?
I don't mean. I know. I did it sort of like to not marginalize, but I got scammed. But I'll try it. That's a good idea. I'll try it again.
Just filter. Don't hire anyone that doesn't have like 200 or 300 jobs and like 4 or 5 stars. It's easy.
Okay.
Yeah. Um,
Thanks.
yeah, thank you. And the article's in the chat, everyone. We'll email you later. Okay, I see you, Shireen. You'll have to unmute Shireen, bottom left-hand corner.
Okay, hey guys. Hey,
Hi.
listen, you might want to just consider, oh, thanks.
Hi.
Shooting the stuff by yourself, because these cameras these days, like you said, are really good.
Yeah.
And the thing is glare. I'm a professional photographer for PBS and other television industry, so I used to shoot a lot of stills and stuff. The biggest thing is getting glare, coming out of the image. So if you can just shoot it and then crop it, make sure you got your parameters in there, just simple cropping. You'd be surprised. You save yourself a lot of money, by doing that. And the stuff looks pretty good. And then if you can bring it into Photoshop. I don't know if people know how to do that, but just go ahead and do your images. That way you save yourself a lot of money, because a professional photographer probably is going to charge all kinds of money, and you know how that is. So,
yeah.
okay, well, thank you. That was I just wanted to add that in.
Oh, awesome. Yeah, I appreciate it. Yeah, it's insane. It's insane, the resolution of these cameras today. Like the stuff that we're seeing reproduced is just like it's crazy.
And you can do that setting as well in your camera. Like you can put how many pixels and whatnot. There's all kinds of settings in your resolution settings. If you want it how big and everything like this, it's all in that. Those little cameras are pretty sophisticated. So it's not hard. Just try it and see. But the biggest thing is having glare on your images and light. And if the light's yellow, like you won't. And if your image is not yellow, you might not want that. So you got to be careful what kind of lighting, how you do it, and just try not to point the lights directly at your image, because then you get a bounce. So just little simple things like that. But just try it yourself and you'd be surprised.
Yeah. And like I said, we're gonna ship you guys all the article. I'll just bring it up here briefly. Just hold on. Yeah, I mean, getting the lighting correct is key here. Hold on, I'm gonna pull it up. Oh no, I don't think I copied the entire thing correctly. It says, oh yeah, no, that's not it. Okay, I'm lying. I'm gonna send it to you after the fact. I just tried to find it and I couldn't. So there we go. Okay, more questions. Please repeat Clay. Okay, I'm gonna. You know what I'll do? I will write one out. On the Craigslist ad strategy. I freaking love Craigslist. I mean, I've used it so many times I can't even begin to tell you. Nothing but good experiences on Craigslist. Karen, so you're asking, will you give us a brief history of your startup? I like that. What do you want me to talk about specifically? I'm going to unmute you, Karen. You'll have to hit the mic icon bottom left.
Thanks. Yeah, no, I was just curious about what motivated you to start this, how you came about.
Yeah, great question. So the founder, he started this company before it called Breathing Color. I don't know if you've ever heard of that. They essentially manufacture like fine art canvas and papers. Huge company. And so he's been in the art industry forever. And he literally got a degree. He paid for like a private education to learn to code because he just had a passion for it. And so then he wrote the software. We started out selling software for like print studios, so people that reproduce fine art, and then realized, like that's just too small of an industry. Why are we doing that? Let's start going after the art and photography markets, and that's what we sort of morphed into. And I think the company is 7 years old now, or maybe we're approaching our 8th year, and I think we are at 70 employees or so, 75, on literally just about every continent on the globe. COVID has really like ushered in. We got a pretty sweet international team now, so it's it's been pretty amazing little run actually.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Okay. All right, I'm going. That was a really interesting question too. No one ever asked that. I enjoyed it. Yes. Okay, Amy. Yeah, I want to talk to you about markups. This is a fantastic strategy. Amy, will you unmute yourself so we can talk? Your mic icon bottom. Yep, gotcha. So Amy was asking specifically about how we approach and think about markups, and we sort of have like a blanket recommendation of a 250% markup across the board. And the reason being, So much of selling art and photography is done through the sale process, like having a sale. And when you have good high margins, then you have the ability to do a 15 or a 20% off without taking a massive haircut.
So basically, across the board, 200% markup.
250.
250.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Now you have the ability, just from a software standpoint, to set it across the board or set it on a per item basis. You have total control. But that's sort of the sweet spot. I mean, there's some items where the pricing would look a little wonky, and you may have to make adjustments here or there. But that's how we do it. I mean, you get a lot of artists and photographers that I talk to that are like 250%. That markup sounds insane. And then on the flip side, they're like, also, well, having sales cheapens my work. Why would I possibly have a sale? To which I reply, the only two brands that I am aware of in the world that don't have sales are Louis Vuitton and Tiffany's, who I think they're about to merge, by the way. Other than that, everyone uses the sale process, right? Like, it's just how we get human beings to take action. So it's nice to be able to have that cushion, sort of built in. But that's just on the reproductions. On the limited editions and the originals, obviously it gets a little wonky.
Right. So basically, if I go with Bay Photo, whatever their base price is, I'm just going to do the 250% markup.
Exactly. So much of art is like about negotiation, right? Like, even on the originals, like the really expensive originals, more negotiation goes down on those than does anything else. It's all sort of just a game. But yeah, that's what you would do. Set it. Don't worry about it. Start rolling. If people complain, you can deal with that later, right?
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Okay, I'm going back up to the questions, trying to go and answer here. Yeah, I mean, you asked about copyright. I have no idea how he gets away with that. It's his business. Yeah, Jenny was asking about the merch. I think I answered that on the merch. Oh yeah, you were asking about printer integration, Drew. I got that. Sorry, just bear with me here. Trevor, I want to pull you on the coding argument. So Trevor was asking if you can do custom code, to do widgets or the like for the site. You do have the ability to do that, Trevor, and you have the control. But I would strongly recommend against it, because you don't have a website problem. Early on, you have a marketing problem. You have a traction problem. No one's coming to the website in the first place, and you got to solve that before you get into custom code. That's sort of how I'd say it.
Yeah. So the answer was that that JavaScript and CSS is available.
Yeah.
So I would assume that's only browser side, client side changes, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
There wouldn't be any opportunity to do anything server side.
No, there would not be the opportunity. We don't open that up. But to be honest with you, it's one of the best things about our web product is it was built recently. It was built very intelligently. It's extremely modular, and we have a pretty dedicated team. So in terms of getting features shipped, it happens like lickety split, which is awesome. So, if there was some sort of feature or something that was like highly suggested, I would immediately grab it. I would take a look at it. I would say, okay, I think this is going to increase conversion rates or make my customers' lives significantly easier. I would go and test it. Then, if it looked good, I would immediately ship it. So we're shipping code like at a pretty breakneck pace, as is. So that's what I'd say. Yeah.
I have another question, but it's related to the cost.
Yeah, absolutely.
If you want me to hold it, I can. But
no. I'll explain the cost, because I got a couple other questions too. So, we're like any other website company out there, right? In the sense that we have a monthly fee for the website, right? So we're no different than any of the other companies. Where we're different than everyone else, what no other website company really does is, we essentially have an art business university. That's essentially what we do. I mean, we provide a graduate education in art and photography marketing. It's way more important than the website. Not a single solitary person on this entire Zoom chat actually has a website problem. You think you do, but you don't. Meaning, if I just, the genie in the lamp, I just came out, the suit, the shoes, the whole thing, and I said, I will magically take your website right now, wherever it exists, and instantaneously put it on any website platform of your choice, nothing is going to change with your business, because all of you guys have a marketing and traffic problem. Doesn't matter what website you have where, if nobody's coming to it. So The most important thing that we solve for is the marketing problem. We do that a whole bunch of different ways. Yes, we have the best online education. Yes, we have weekly Zoom sessions like this, 52 weeks a year, 50 weeks a year or so, where we teach the particular thing. We have a calendar. We have a curated Facebook group, and we have support 6 days a week. That collectively is sort of what we refer to as the Art Business University, and it's a one-time fee to get into that thing. And then once you pay it, you're in for life. You get the education, the ongoing education support, all of that going forward. So our plans start at $9.99, I believe, is the one-time fee to the Art Business University, and then I think the $49 a month is the website fee.
So yeah, so my question was, so apparently there's 3 levels of that initial, three levels you can get in initially. If you get in at the lowest level and you decide to move up to the middle or the upper tier, can you still get those discounted rates, or are you going to have to pay the full?
They run sales and discounts a fair amount. I don't know 100%. And what I would do, have you talked to somebody already? Have you requested a demo?
Not yet. I talked to Nate.
Oh, you did talk to Nate.
He wouldn't really. He was kind of hesitant to answer that question.
Yeah, he's a piece of work, that one. What did he say? He's like, yeah, just come to one of these sessions, right? He just pushed you to the session. Yeah, he does.
Yeah,
I
think he did. I think that's what he said.
Yeah, he's awesome for doing that. Yeah, you can upgrade or downgrade at any point in time. Period. I don't 100% know the sales thing, but you know, if you ping him again, he should answer that. Just pin him down on it. Be like, dude, what's the story here? Okay. But yeah, the most important thing you got to solve right out of the gates is the marketing problem, right? That's it. I mean, that's literally why we exist. I mean, everyone thinks that they have a website problem. I have this like whole like rant that I've just done recently. I'll see if I can pull it up here. Hold on. And it's funny because let me make it full screen so you can see. I'll move myself off to the left here. So Maslow's hierarchy of needs, right? First, you have to sort the physiological stuff. Then you have to sort the safety stuff. Then you can get up to thing, love, esteem, self-actualization, become a decent human being, right? I give you the art selling pyramid, okay? 3 blocks, 3 blocks. The bottom block is attention. And no different than in Maslow's case, like you have to sleep every day and you have to go out and get food every day. Well, guess what? We all have to go out and get attention every single solitary day. What is attention? It's traffic to your website. It's additional email addresses. It's Facebook posts and Instagram posts and whatever else you can do to get attention, to get eyeballs to your website. It is the single solitary biggest problem that every single solitary one of us has. And it is a battle that never ends. As an example, everyone on this call thinks they have a website problem, right? Or if they have a niche selection problem, or if they just knew what size best-selling print is, and they just offered those stores, then in their store, then it would solve for it, right? No one even has those problems, because in order to have those problems, you need to fix the attention problem. It disgusts me to say this. Not really. I respect them. The most powerful women in the entire world right now, the Kardashians. Why? Because they have the attention, okay? Every one of them, I mean, those girls haven't flown in, commercial airlines in a long time, right? They all have these massive businesses. Why? Because they understand the currency of the land is attention. Those girls can do whatever they want. They could become artists tomorrow and throw a bunch of paint on the canvas and probably sell $10 million worth of art just because they have the attention. With it, you can do anything. Without it, you're not in the game. Okay, this is the second block of the pyramid. I'm sort of off my game today. One is the business model. You have to sell direct, okay? That means no middlemen between you and your customers. Most importantly, you need to retain the data on your customers so that you can market to them in perpetuity. 2, you have to be building a collector list, okay? A collector list is, I sort of jacked this concept. Hold on, I'll get my little prop here. I sort of jacked it from this guy's book, Don't Be a Starving Artist. It's Weiland, the whale guy, best-selling artist in the United States right now, I think by some margin. And he talks about in his book about how important a collector list is. And for him, a collector is someone that will buy over the course of their lifetime 7+ pieces of art, right? It can go up even higher than that. So you keep getting better, your prices keep going up, and the collectors just come along for a ride. And I've been doing this long enough now that, you know, some of these customers I've known for 5 and 6 and 7 years, and they will have a show and they will say, okay, I'm going to have a live art show. I'm going to show you. In fact, I can do this show and tell too. Here it is. So this is my buddy, Matthew Laka. And he had a show. He actually pulled this off during COVID, which I thought was impressive. But he had a show at this gallery in Canada, in the height of COVID, actually. And here's how it works. You know, the full dog and pony show, right? The invites go out, you know, the cocktails. I mean, this was in COVID, so I don't think you could have that many people come in. It was like 3 in the gallery at a time or whatever. But here's how it would normally go, right? The invites go out, you know, song and dance, like, you know, the booze is flowing, everything else. And that's the night of the show, right? Well, you rewind 2 days previous, okay? And what does he do? He sends an email of all the pieces that no one's seen to his collectors. Hey guys, it's COVID. I know you're not going to be able to make it, but I just wanted to show you the work because you guys have been such great supporters. And what ends up happening? He ends up selling out 40% of the show before it's even opened, okay? Because he has a collector list. A collector list is sort of like your pension. It just pays year after year after year. It's insane. So very, very important concept to understand that. Once you have those two sorted, the business model and the collector list, then we get to go into the 3 ways to sell art, okay? There's only 3 ways to sell art right now. There's the best way. Trick question. What is the best way to sell art? Face to face, okay? Face to face and in person. No one is disputing that. That has always been the way it's been. That's always will be, okay? You know, if you have an opportunity to sell face to face, that's what you do. There's nothing better. Problem, we are all geographically fixed on this planet, and we have to sleep, and we can't have 15 conversations at once. So yes, absolutely, you need a website. But the website is actually the worst way to sell art, okay? The second way to sell art, you know, I'm going 1, 2, 3 because the website is the worst. In person is the best. The second way to sell art is exactly what's going on right now. Video. Whether it's one-to-one, you know, you with an individual potential collector, or one-to-many, you doing a live art show on Zoom, right? Sort of what I was showing in that last example. That is the next best way, the next closest way, okay, to in person. And it works fantastically well, and the entire world is trying to figure it out, right? Like, here's Matthew, the same guy, having an art show in his basement studio or in his garage studio. And he's, you know, I can go through the tradecraft of how this all works, but literally the entire world is trying to figure this out right now, right? Like, you know, here's one that another customer, Meg, did, right? Here she is selling art directly on video. In this case, it was a one-to-many scenario, not one-to-one. But, you know, if you go and look at this report, okay, this new one from Art Basel, like one of the primary conclusions in this is how the fact that like high net worth individuals bought a tremendous amount of art on what they call OVR. They call them online viewing rooms, which is just a nonsense BS word for a Zoom call. So the whole entire world's trying to figure it out right now, right? How to sell art directly via video, one-to-one, one-to-many, everything in between. The larger part is, though, the reality is those are the 3 ways to sell art. Every single solitary one of you needs to be deploying all 3 of them. And, you know, as long as you have that business model and the collector list going, then that's it. The last block, just to finalize it, right, is everything else. What do I mean by everything else? Okay, we know we have to sort attention. We're going to work on it daily. Okay, we've bolted in the 3 ways to sell art into our operation. Okay, what's everything else? If you're in a gallery and your stuff's selling well in a gallery, by all means, keep that gallery operation going, right? We love revenue. We're very pro revenue, but it's in addition to working on attention and, you know, the 3 ways to sell art and selling direct. What about the online fair or the offline fairs and shows when those come back? Okay, great. That's everything else. What about an online gallery? Like, let's say you're using Etsy or Fine Art America or any of the rest of them. If it's working, if it's paying, fine. It's in the everything else block. But that's the pyramid, and you follow that, and you're in a very, very good situation. And, you know, I'm reticent, okay? I am reticent to brag about numbers, all right? I'm reticent while I go and brag about numbers. This guy sold 62 pieces, a little bit over $32,000 Canadian in 15 days with this strategy, okay? Boom, done. Like, right like that. And this isn't even his current work, it's his old work. Now, many of you would say, well, this guy's been at it for a long time. He's got 10,000 YouTube subscribers. I think he's got like 25,000 Instagram followers. So he does have a good bit of attention. This gal here, and don't worry, I'm going to send these shows to you after the fact. Okay, So what did she do? She had a show with, I think, 80 pieces. Okay, I think there was 8. Yeah, there was 80 pieces in the sale, right? And guess what she did? She had a collector list. Imagine that. And so she went ahead and emailed a link to the 80 pieces before the show started. And what ended up happening, I think her collector list bought 37 of the 80 pieces before the show even started. She ran the show again. This is, out of her basement. And she sold, I think, 62 pieces, or maybe even 70 now, 70 pieces for a little bit over 15,000 US at the last count. Like, not leaving the house, directly to video. And in Meg's case, like, she's got 6,000 Instagram followers, and her email list is not big because I've seen it. So it's just, it is absolutely changing everything. Okay, everything. It is the new latest greatest way to sell art, to sell photography, and everyone needs to sort of like figure it out and start practicing. That's what I would say. Okay. Going back to the questions. Yeah, London, that's the whole point. That's why you need to learn marketing, right? Like, how do you sell video without a following? That's a chicken and eggs scenario, right? Like, you have to build up an attention. You have to build a following. But guess what? You can sell one-to-one. It does not have to be with 500 people, right? It can be one-to-one. Like, hey, London, I like your work. I want to check it out. Can you jump on a Zoom with me? Yeah, great. All right. Boom, there you go. Yeah, Sue said it doesn't matter if you work with, ceramics or not with ceramics. It's all just art. It's all just getting attention. So it doesn't matter at all. All right, that's it in the chat. I think we're getting some comments on Facebook. Let me just deal with these. Everything else, yes, Natalie. What does the marketing team do for me, and is that included in my regular subscription? Yeah, we teach you how to market all year long. So we don't do it for you, but we do indeed teach you to market. And Adrian says, be like a Kardashian and sell photos. Can't, as easy it is. We can all have a debate about how exactly those girls acquired that attention, but, got to respect them. It's amazing what they pulled off, right? Like, just crazy. Yeah, no, the video sales, Jenny, are equally, and in many cases, even better for photographers. So yes, it works just as effective. It just so happens that those two that I showed there were painters, but it works incredibly well for photographers too. I mean, amazingly so. So yeah, it doesn't matter what you do. And quite literally, the entire world is trying to figure it out right now, which is hilarious. Like, all the shows and fairs, that had the booth deposits down are like, we'll do a virtual art show with you. And, oftentimes I hear about how bad they fail because it's not so easy to do, to understand the technology for one artist, let alone 50 at a time or whatever they do. So, yeah. Does the 49 cover? Yes, it does. Exactly. That's just the monthly website fee. Use that. Yep. Still playing with my buttons here, figuring this whole thing out. But yeah, guys, what else? Any other questions? Yeah. So okay. So Grex, I'd love to pull you up on this. I'm gonna unmute you. And is it Grex or Greg? I don't know. I can't tell. You'll have to tell me when you unmute. He's asking. It's Grex. So she's asking about Pinterest, and for everything that we do digitally, it's about ROI, right? The return on investment. In most cases, our time, and in some cases, our treasure, if we're like running paid ads or whatever. And Pinterest, while I actually love it, I think it's a beautiful visual search engine. I have just not seen anyone actually turn the traffic from Pinterest into a valuable traffic source and sales channel. I just haven't seen it. And so if that's the case, over 5,500 customers, like I'm ready to stick a fork in it and call it done, right? Like, I do see incredible amounts of revenue coming from Instagram and Facebook. So I would just strongly encourage you to spend all your time there. That being said, if you've been on Pinterest a long time and you're really, really good at it, it's not to say you couldn't get it to work. I just don't think it's as effective as the other channels.
Okay.
Yeah. Is that heartbreaking?
Seems weird because it's so visual. You'd think it would be more, but
I know. I know.
I haven't, I'm not, I just looked at a program about training on it. So this is timely.
Yeah. Yeah. I would save that time, energy, and effort, and I would devote it to Facebook and Instagram.
Maybe it's better for books, because I think that's what the people that were doing well at it were doing, is more books. So
yeah. Yeah. Art, it just doesn't, I mean, you would think so, but I'm telling you, I mean, I have seen so many different, web analytics for my various different customers. 0 sales, 0 sales, 0 sales, 0 sales. It's like, you look at that after the years, it's like, okay, I get it. Whatever it is, it's not working over there.
maybe they get all their visual needs met on Pinterest.
Very well could be the case. Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks, Grax. Yes. So Jenny's asking, do the photographers show prints? Yes, the photographers show prints. Yep. Adrian was asking on YouTube is yes. Instagram is the single solitary greatest visual search engine that exists in the world right now. It's just not even close. So it's, it works. It's working fantastically well. And yes, Gretchen, I agree. I mean, Pinterest just, I like it. I just, London's asking, what about TikTok? So we do have some customers that are on it and are doing okay selling as a result of it. I personally hate it. I think it's run by the communist government of China, and they are evil, and they keep way more data. And so I have my own personal axe to grind with them. But some customers are using it to great fanfare. The thing that infuriates me is that they inflate the view counts on there so ridiculously bad. It is pathetic, and people end up thinking like, oh my gosh, my such and such went viral. I got 55,000 views. No, you didn't. No, you did not. That is a dopamine hit that app is using to get you to come back again and again. You probably didn't get 5 views on it. So quit lying to your users, TikTok. Yeah, NFTs, very, very interesting. People always ask about that. So the CEO and I both are mildly into crypto, I would say, and have been for a long time. So we recorded an episode on it, NFTs. I'll just get the link for you right now. And what we think they are, why they're the future of the art business and everything else. They're also massive, like, shiny objects for right now. I think Terry, what it portends for collectibles in the art world is amazing, but I don't think we're anywhere there yet. It's just super early days, and yeah, they are extremely complicated, like stupid complicated. But we do have a couple customers that have sold a few. But it's just, art and photography is hard enough to sell as is. The last thing that you need is something that makes it 10,000 times more difficult to sell. The sexy headlines, though, are all as a result of, too many kids having too much crypto wealth and deciding to buy and sell and have a little fun and gamble and everything else. It's sort of an expansion of the art market. It's not a situation where, these people were normally buying art and now they're just going crazy in NFT land. But I think it's amazing what it portends for artists. Absolutely amazing. But it's gonna be a long time. And my other issue is that I see so many people that think that, like, hey, my art or photography, I can't figure out how to sell it face to face. I can't figure out how to sell it from a website. It's not selling well on my live video. I know what I'll do. I'll run over to NFT land and it'll start selling well there. No, it will not. You still have to market, right? So, people run to it like it's going to be a savior. It's like, look, if your art wasn't selling offline or on your website or on via live art shows, you are not going to be selling NFTs. So don't waste your time. So that's what I would say. What is the artist's responsibility? Yeah, Terry, it's a good question. So, what ends up happening is, every customer with us, okay, the artist owns everything with us, like absolutely everything. What am I doing? I'm trying to get my screen share going here. Just bear with me. So pull up a website. Do I have one up? I thought I did. Oh yeah, so I've gotten it again. So, somebody would come onto your website, right? They would go to buy the art and am I showing my screen? Probably not. Hold on. So they come onto your website, they pick a size, a canvas, what size, okay, framed canvas, continue, they go to checkout, right? So what ends up happening once they go through this process is you end up having a merchant account that's attached to the website, which is attached to your bank account. The minute the order comes in, if it's an original, obviously you would be the one to fulfill it. So you'll just get paid immediately. If it's a print, then the order comes in, the money instantaneously goes to the printer, it instantaneously goes to you, the printer prints it, ships it, and that's that. We're not involved in that transaction in the slightest. Like, we don't hold your money or anything. You know, everyone signs up for their own merchant account with this company called Stripe. They're huge, and that's sort of just how that goes. Yeah. So Ursula's asking, hold on, can any website platform be used to build my website, or are there specific platforms that you have us use? Well, we are a website platform, Ursula. So, you know, your site would end up living on, you know, our software, our servers. So yeah, that's what I would say. Yeah, in London, the good practice is selling art on Facebook. You know, market on it constantly, run live art shows on it, talk about your process on it, occasionally have sales on it, post awesome images. You know, it's a combination of everything. It's a combination of everything. Terry's asking how does the shipping calculated checkout? It's all automated. It's all automated with the printers. It's not automated in the sense that, you know, for your originals, you sort of have to figure that out. But we have guides on how to set it all up. It's really pretty straightforward. No one has a problem with the shipping, really, aside from, you know, my buddy Matthew that sold 60 pieces, or Meg who sold 70 pieces from that art show, which is, you know, when you have to ship all of that, it's a real pain. But first world problems here. First world problems. Yeah, you can request a demo, Terry, and they'll help you with that. She's asking to see the guides. Okay, good session today, guys. Sort of enjoyed this for a Monday. One thing I would say is that if you're just getting to know us, then, you know, don't worry. We're not going anywhere. We're going to be here for a while. But if you are at all interested in learning more, we do the demo process, and what ends up happening when you request a demo is somebody from our outreach team will set up like a 10 to 15 minute call. You can ask all the nitty gritty, in-depth, detailed issues about pricing, this, that, and the other. I don't know all those details off the top of my head, so that's why I kind of just water ski around the outside of them. And then if you like what you hear, then they schedule you for a full demo, which is like an hour. And, you know, there's so many bells and whistles to the software that they do it. So if that is something that interests you, you should definitely do that. Don't worry, they're not pushy, and they will never call you again if you don't want them to call you again. And then we have a spring sale going on, I think, which is something off something or other. Again, I can't keep these things straight, but I know it's a pretty smoking deal that they're offering. So yeah, Suzette, it doesn't matter if you specialize in ceramics. It's, you know, it's all the same, right? Like, so there are some features to the website which are made for wall art that you will not be using if you sold ceramics, but it's just a web store like any other e-commerce shopping cart. You don't have a website problem anyway, like everyone else. You have an attention problem. Do you print sell on your platform? Yeah, London. No, everything. Originals, commissions, prints, hybrid prints, meaning people paint on prints. Just about everything imaginable. We have some customers that are doing extremely well selling classes too, you know, digital education and the like. So yeah, pretty awesome. A whole bunch of stuff. But okay, I think that covers it. And no, Adrian on YouTube says, can't be a reclusive artist and have sales too. No, sadly, no, you cannot. Not how it works in today's day and age. Look, I didn't want to be on video ever. Now I have to be on video 5 days a week. So I'm eating my own humble pie there, trust me. But thank you, guys. Awesome session today. Any other questions? We run these things Monday, Wednesday, Friday. So you can always pop back onto another one if you're so inclined. Other than that, I would, love to see you on the inside. London's asking, I do illustration and graffiti, and your platform seems geared towards fine art. No, it's geared towards anything that hangs on the wall. It's really just geared towards art, period. You can do illustration and graffiti all day long. Zero difference at all. So yeah, you have no worries there. But okay, I'm going to leave it there, guys. Thank you very much, and everyone have a great rest of your week. Bye now.